Hello, and welcome to the Awake and Lippy live weekly talk show, episode number 10 already. So, how are you doing? How's your week going? I hope you're all well, given the, again, craziness that's going through in the world, whichever part of the world you're in at the moment. And I always just like to acknowledge that. I think I find myself every time I sit here on a Wednesday, just the need to acknowledge that, because I know there's so much going on and we're all in different kind of parts of the world. So let's just take a breath here on a Wednesday. And just tune into yourself, just check in. And hopefully this is a space where you can just kind of do that. And we're going to get into some juicy topics tonight, so let me know if you're here watching live or once you're on the replay as well. I'll check back in with comments. So I'm going to introduce a lovely guest in a moment, but first I just wanted I've been on a social media break myself over the last few days, and I realized I hadn't really done that this year. I've been kind of online the whole time, and I like to take sort of social media breaks, part of my own kind of health. I'm going to talk about health today. Part of my own kind of health maintenance, well-being, just to kind of take a little bit of a step back. So just a little reminder for anyone that needs to just take a little step back from social media. It can be very intense sometimes, and I'm definitely enjoying this space. I'm still in my groups and doing various bits. I'm still here doing this, but it was just sort of taking a backseat of posting and sharing, and it was just felt very needed. So I'm feeling good with that. Hi Wisteria, hello. You're using your old phone on Wi-Fi to be able to tune in. Oh, bless you. It's lovely to have you here. Thank you. That's like a committed weekly viewer. I love it. Thank you for being here. Yes, so lots going on in the world. So we're going to get into, I'm so excited about this topic. In a few moments we're going to really get into the kind of health aspects, and I think given what's going on right now and all of the programming and all sorts of things, it's going to be a really powerful look at how we're really kind of how our bodies really create certain things. And I think it's just such a fascinating topic, and once we get out of the fear, we can rise above certain things and really create the kind of life that we want to create. So I'm really excited to get into this topic tonight. It's like really one that's close to my heart as well, and our guest is amazing, which I'll introduce you in a moment. So first I just want to tune in. I'm just going to get a little higher perspective, just to kind of tune into the energy tonight, as I always do, and just bring in the Arcturian channeled message this week, which I really love doing. And I've been getting some amazing messages this week, just around the world, around people generally, in my focus sessions with people as well, channel sessions. So let's just see what message they want to talk to you about today. Okay, so dear ones, yes, we wish to bring your attention to your soul's ability to expand. So whilst you are experiencing some tumultuous times on the planet and moving through various different programs, various different energies, we'd like to bring your attention today to your creative powers and your soul's ability to expand. And so the reason we want to draw your attention to this is that many of you are forgetting that you are here to create, and that you are here to truly expand beyond all the limits that you may have imposed on yourself throughout your lifetime, all the limits imposed on you throughout your authority structures that are here on this planet. And so although, yes, there are challenges, and we always acknowledge this with you, we send you so much love, we want to bring your attention and your focus today, in this moment, to your soul's ability to expand. And what we mean by this is that it's a reminder to you, dear soul, dear one, that your soul is a higher consciousness. You as a soul, you are a higher consciousness. And so many of you underplay your actual creative power. And we love to remind you of this. We love to communicate this with you, because it is something that you have not yet fully stepped into. And so this is an exciting time on your planet, and it's an opportunity for you to really step into this expansion. And what we mean by expansion is the soul's calling that you receive. There are all reasons for each and every one of you to be here on this planet at this time. It is no accident that you are here. You have absolutely chosen to be here. And so we are encouraging you now to have the courage yourself and the bravery to really start to tune in into those intuitive nudges, those whispers, those callings that perhaps do not always make sense, to move beyond the logic and to allow yourselves to really go on an exploration, explore what your soul is here for. And this is an opportunity for you to expand again beyond the limits of your mind, the limits of your world. And many of you tuning into this now and later, and from any time and any moment, you are here to create. You are here to create. And so we really want to help activate you now just through this message to remember, simply remember that you're here to create. You came here to create your experience. You came here to create your own timeline, your own journeys. And you came here, if you are tuning into this message, to assist humanity. And so many of you doubt this. Many of you feel insignificant, or perhaps that you're not doing enough, or that you are not enough. And we want to remind you that you are expansive. You are a powerful soul, and your very presence here on the earth plane is assisting, because it is your energy. Your energy and your vibration is everything. And so we really want to help you to remember this right now in this moment, that you are energy, you are powerful, and even your breath, your breathing, your physical presence on the earth plane is rippling out into the entire collective consciousness. This is how powerful you are. And so we really wish to remind you of this, dear ones, and to send you so much love. We are cheering you on. We know that you have much greatness ahead of you. Take heart, because everything that you are experiencing and moving through right now is going to lead to a much better place for humanity here. Yes, there will be challenges. Yes, there will be times that you will need to tap into your perseverance and strength, but this is why you came. And so we simply just want to remind you again that you are here to expand. So don't be afraid of the adventures. Don't be afraid of taking new directions, of allowing yourself to release old ways of being and to move yourselves into perhaps very new ways of thinking, new perspectives, new ideas, more powerful ways of living, being, and creating, because this is the trajectory now for humanity, and this is where you are moving towards. And so we send you so much love. And we are delighted to be here assisting with as many of you as possible. And there is much positivity and creativity ahead of each and every one of you. Okay, good. Oh, I love those messages. Thank you. Yeah, so a lot of messages I've been getting have really been about reminding people of their significance and the fact. And I love the message that they shared again, because this is just so repeated in any time I'm channeling at the moment. It's this remembrance that even through our breathing, we can feel so insignificant sometimes, that we're just kind of here and not doing very much. But this is what we're going to get into, and I really want to bring into this topic now this idea of the body, how powerful we are, how we create, how it all works. So the next topic then I'm going to bring in and have an amazing guest who just knows so much about so many things. We're going to look at frequency, vibration of cells, and how it creates illness, because this is such a huge topic and one very close to my heart as well, because I went through kind of like a 5-year debilitating illness, and I was on this recovery journey, and I realized then we create everything in our bodies, which can be very challenging. But once you understand that, it's very empowering, because it means that you can heal aspects of you can move forward, you can totally break through the limitations of what your doctor might tell you, or what the medical model, that's very limited, very tiny, right? So we're going to get into that and understand it more and rise above it, because it's now is the time. If not now, then I don't know when, right? So this is a beautiful topic, and I'm very excited to be able to kind of open up this space. So on that note, I'm going to bring in our lovely guest. So I'm going to bring on Martina Waidhas. I try and get your name as close to it as possible. So Martina is an alternative health practitioner, medical intuitive, healer, and communicator who works with humans and animals to facilitate healing in the mind, body, and soul. And she has a deep, vast knowledge of a wide range of healing practices, all sorts of different things. And I'll let her explain a little bit more because she's much more articulate in these areas than I am. I'm going to bring her on now. Let's see if I can do this with one click. Yes. Hello, Martina.
Hi, Mary. Hello, everyone. So nice to be here. So excited to share all these really, yeah, it's the foundation of everything, basically.
Yes. So glad to have
Frequency,
you here. Yeah. And yeah, all this, and I know it's such a big, expansive topic. So we're going to try and just, get through whatever you want to share. But yeah, take it, like, I don't know where you want to start. I don't know if you want to give a little bit more insight into what you do, because I know you do so many things, don't you, with people and healing and yeah.
right? Um, it's quite challenging to put that in a very short
Yeah.
framework here, but what I'm doing is basically looking at the physical, the mental, emotional, and the spiritual, and bringing it all together. And I'm using different still methods when it's about the physical body, which is very interesting, where I'm like enabling the brain again to control the physical. So bringing back the coherence between the brain and the body. And
Mm,
of course, we have a 3D body, and anything on a 3D level helps the body to rearrange all these distracted connections. If we have a bad connection now, I couldn't understand your question, and so I could not answer you. And the same is true for
mm,
the brain and any cell in the body. When the communication is interrupted, disturbed, for what reason ever, then there is no communication or a
mm,
false communication in both ways. It's not just a one-way communication. And there is where the issues start. And this is why I'm still using a method. I mean, you know me.
mm,
It's totally the time that we forget about the knowledge part and method part. But for the physical body, it makes sense to still use something and to have a structure into that, to not forget anything. And the rest of it is, some of my clients call me a witch, so maybe that matches it best.
yeah, there's no one
It's
word, is there?
basically it's tuning into the energy. Here we are, into the frequency, where the frequency is not in alignment, and then choosing what's the best thing. The universe delivers then the answers, what to do to bring
Mm,
everything back in alignment with the soul path.
mm,
That's the
yes.
basic thing. I mean, we have the biggest thing standing in our ways is the physical brain, with all the programming and all
Mm,
these beliefs created through perception and the programming we went through. That's basically the biggest issue standing in our ways, the
mm. So you're
physical
still
brain
saying
and the
like the
programming.
communication then between the mind and the body, and then with all the programming that we have, we're bombarded in the mind. It's almost causing like a disconnect, like the line isn't kind of communicating through. Is
The
that how you see
the thing is that our brain is basically like a computer. So nothing is in there that has not been programmed. But
it?
what
Mm,
is programmed? As soon as you are created, like in the womb of your mom, the programming starts. Everything
mm,
goes to you. You're recording 24/7 as soon as the brain is developed. And then you're born. You're programmed with mom's perception, dad's perception, siblings, aunts, grandma, grandpa. Then mainstream media, my
mm,
absolute favorite, or the religion, and everything goes straight through. You have this 24/7 ongoing programming without the ability of a consciousness. That develops only at the age of 7.
mm,
So your own experience adds to what you have been programmed with. But it's all programmed from other people. It's none is straight from your own experience. It's always from outside. So your entire life runs basically on the programming of other people,
Mm.
which is mostly not helpful because all the trauma, all the false beliefs, all the wrong perceptions, they are forwarded.
Mm.
They are forwarded to you one to one. And then you are like, wow, and now? And only that is in your brain. So whenever people refer to the term of leaving your comfort zone,
Mm.
that means anything that is not yet in your brain causing fear, and therefore people try to maneuver around. It's not the people trying to do that, but it's the brain trying to keep you safe. That sounds now weird
Mm.
because transformation is something amazing and beautiful, but it's not known to the brain.
Mm.
And therefore, the brain's first most important job is to keep us safe. Like
Mm.
you go to the second floor, so the brain will tell you, don't jump down. You might be injured or die from that, which
Mm.
is lovely. But looking at the fact of I want to change a habit, I want to change a pattern, my way of thinking, I want to change my life, it's not helpful.
Mm.
Because then our brain gets creative. It comes up with strange things like an
Yeah.
accident or an illness. So I don't go to the gym, although I wanted to do that. So funny things happen, and it all
Mm.
happens unconsciously. It's 90 to 95% where these unconscious thoughts, beliefs run our daily life.
Mm.
And that energy, to bridge the gap now to the energy, that creates the issues in our bodies. So any low vibrational energy, I prefer to not use the word negative emotion because there
Mm.
is no negative emotion. It's just a low vibrant emotion.
Mm.
Anything that gives us thoughts like, I'm not good enough, I didn't do enough to make that happen, I didn't contribute enough, I'm too small, I'm too fat, I'm too whatever,
Mhm.
that will disturb our frequency, the frequency
Mm.
of each of your cells. Your cells will start releasing toxins.
Mm.
Your adrenaline will go high, which is totally not helpful.
Mm.
And then you come up with symptoms, and at the end, illness and disease. Your physical body is this wonderful, miraculous vessel that is mirroring all unresolved emotions and
Mm.
thoughts and patterns, all these things. So it's really a blessing looking at any pain, not like I want to get rid of it or fight it. No, it's a
Mm.
blessing.
Mm.
Even cancer
Mm.
is the manifestation of an unresolved emotion. So if I look at the organ, link the emotion that is known to be
Mm.
connected to the organ, for example, the liver, we have anger and frustration.
Mm.
And then I can, okay, where am I angry? Where am I frustrated? And then I can work on that. So it's a blessing.
Yeah, there's a really great book. I always forget who wrote it, but it's "The Body Holds the Score" or "The Body Keeps the Score." I forgot how it is, but there's a book around this whole concept around our bodies literally just keep the score of every thought, emotion, feeling, whatever
Right.
experience, and we store them in the body. And we've been
Yeah.
taught, in the typical Western medical model is pop a pill or have some surgery or very surface level masking over. And once we understand that, and in other parts of the world, they already do this as practice. We're just very late to the party, I think. But there are whole parts of the world that get this. They get this. They live this all the time, right? all the
true.
time.
It was there in Europe as well.
Mm,
And also with alternative medication, you can perfectly mask
mm,
illness and disease. Homeopathics are the most powerful example. So
mm,
I really recommend anyone that wants to um, use like homeopathics, please go to a certified homeopathic practitioner. They need to study for 3 years, because if they don't find the perfect remedy for you, then you might end up with major problems.
mm,
So don't just think, oh, it's just homeopathic, there is nothing in it. No, no, no. It's so, so powerful.
mm,
And we have to be aware of this energy. Or a beautiful example as well are the flower remedies or tree
mm. Yes,
remedies.
yeah.
It's so powerful. It's not even necessary to ingest them, to kind of like have a drop on your tongue or anything.
Mm,
No, it's put it on your wrist,
mm,
or like on the sternum, like the thymus area.
mhm,
Wonderful. For
mm.
animals, you just place the bottle at the place where they sleep. It's the energy.
Wow.
It's just the energy, the information of energy that will help. Same is true for the homeopathics. You don't have to give your dog or your cat the homeopathic remedy. I mean, cat owners know that they will find the smallest global in whatever you give them and might refuse it and spit it out.
Yeah.
So, what do? You just use the global at a place where they love to be and place it there. It's just the energy. For a
Mm.
dog, you can uh, use some plaster and put it inside the collar or the harness you use, and the energy will do the job.
Nice, yeah, and it's just getting, for those people that maybe this is new to them, right? Because I know a lot of people are really expanding right now, and they're hearing these things maybe for the first time. So I guess that's can be quite an eye opener to understand that this is all energy, right? Everything that goes in, how we heal, how we move through, how we become ill, it is all
Right.
energy. And once we
It
understand
is.
that, so
Yeah,
powerful.
it
Mm,
is. There is one saying from Nikola Tesla. Maybe everybody knows Nikola Tesla. I
mhm.
really love him, and he was truly a genius and very well connected to God's source universe.
Yeah,
And he said, if you want to understand the universe,
yeah,
you have to think energy.
yeah.
It's all energy. And to come to this, what is going on right now, where we have been told there is this virus that makes us
Mhm,
sick, and they told us to wear the mask because it's spreading from one to another.
mm,
I'm really sorry, but that doesn't exist.
mm,
So there is a gold standard, scientific gold standard of identifying germs in a laboratory, in a petri dish, and never ever in history it was possible to identify a single virus.
mm.
No measles, no Ebola, no HIV, and no coronavirus.
This
So,
is what
but what,
experts are saying, aren't they? Oh, I've heard that over and over, that just that bit there. Yeah, they
yeah,
keep repeating this. Yeah.
but now you may ask, why is it that if one starts like the normal flu season, everybody knew about the flu season. So when it was coming to autumn and winter time, oh my God, the flu season starts. I hope I won't catch it. Well, guess what? Self-fulfilling prophecy. Of course you will catch it. I
Mhm.
mean, the universe is just proving that it works. Um, Sending out exactly that.
Yeah.
But this is exactly the basis of how that works. So somebody comes up with these symptoms, and what are the symptoms? Where do they come from? It's exosomes. That means it's your cells releasing and detoxing.
Mm,
And that opens the person that develops the symptoms. And fever is a great tool of the body to help with toxins,
mm,
to get rid of them. And they are vibrating exactly that energy out there. The neighbor notices. For some reason, their level of frequency of energy is low
Mm.
because maybe they had some trouble in the job or with the spouse or had a car accident or just some bad news that arrived. So
Mm.
immune system is low. And then they see this obviously sick person
Mm-hmm.
open up with exactly that energy, and then they show exactly the same symptoms or very equal symptoms. And this is how it spreads. There
Mm.
is no contagious thing like jumping from A to B.
Mm. Yeah.
It's just frequency.
Yeah, and that really takes the fear out for people that maybe didn't know this or they're just learning about
Yeah.
this. I think it's so empowering and it's such a great thing to know because really what you're saying is we are responsible. We are responsible for our own
Yes.
health, and isn't that good news? And I'd say if you feel
That's
that
perfect
isn't good
news.
news, you might want to look at the programming there because I find that it's empowering because it means it's in our hands to strengthen our systems or do whatever we need to do to get into a higher vibration. But it's
Yeah.
empowering, so empowering. Mm,
It is definitely powerful. And please, no one feel judged or ashamed or
yeah.
anything because, yes, everything that is right there in your life, everything, including health, was created by yourself.
Mm,
Well, it might not be very nice what you experience right
yeah.
now,
Yeah.
but if you were able to create that, then you can create anything else as well.
Mm,
And the good news is, as we live in quantum times, it may not take weeks, months, years. It can happen like that
yes.
instantly. That's the beautiful thing. And it's within each of you. You are, and there I come back to your message, your channeled message. And I
Mm,
was talking exactly that with a client. We are creator for our life.
mm,
So why not create something powerful? Acknowledge that we are infinite divine beings. And when we heal and when we are in our heart space,
mm,
vibrating that out, then the outer world heals on automatic.
mm,
There is nothing we need to do in the old 3D way of doing things.
mm. So true. What would you say if so I'm imagining some people might be tuning in and most people have got some level of physical stuff because of how we've been living
Yep,
and how we've been
yep.
programming ourselves. So say if somebody's tuning in and they're feeling, I'm not particularly feeling great with my energy or not particularly feeling well, where would you suggest that they could start if they just don't know like how to start raising their vibration or programming their cells, or how would you suggest maybe they start? I know it's a big question,
It's
but
no, it's actually it's a very easy to answer question. Why? Because it's easy to do.
yeah.
Start with proper breathing. Deep belly breathing is the first thing that can maybe change your entire life in the blink of an eye. In all these meditations, they talk about, yeah, we take a deep breath, blah, blah. That sounds just like on the surface and doesn't cover really what it is. Sit down, lay down when you do it first time. Put your hand on your belly button area. Now breathe in through your nose. Make sure that your hand lifts up.
Mm,
Then breathe in to a count of 4. Hold to a count of 4. And then release through your mouth to a count of 8. Now, what happens is amazing through only doing that.
mm,
You will calm down instantly because the lower parts of the lungs have receptor cells. And when they are expanded, the physical body can not act different as relax. So the parasympathetic system, the part of relax, renewal,
Mm,
that is activated. The fight and flight is shut down instantly just by doing that. Then you bring in oxygen. Oxygen is another one of the main reasons for illness and disease, mostly needed in the brain, but of course in each of our cells. And the absence of oxygen is on a physical level part of the problem why you have illness and disease. And
mm,
on top of that, what barely anyone talks about is that breathing is one of the body's mechanisms to balance the blood pH level. And
mm,
we are mostly all too acidic.
mm.
Like our lifestyle exposes us to a lot of acids, and unfortunately, they are very tasty. So, um,
Yes.
why not use the body's ability of breathing
Mm,
to reduce and help your blood pH level go to a more alkaline state? So, that's easy. It
mm,
doesn't cost you anything. You can do it anywhere, and it's so, so powerful. Then you can do little things like having a glass of lukewarm lemon water.
mm,
Squeeze half a lemon, a little bit of lukewarm water, have that first thing in the morning. That is nurturing for your body. You can have ginger water, you can have celery juice, whatever you
mm,
prefer. There are so beautiful things out there.
mm.
Then you can listen to beautiful music, whatever music that is. It doesn't need to be meditation music. If
Yes.
you relax on heavy metal, well, then go with heavy metal. There is no wrong or right.
Yeah.
Go out in nature. Maybe you have some lake or the sea or the mountains, some forest where you have trees, where you have nature. Just be there and share with the nature what's going on for you.
Mm,
It's all right in front of you. So don't overcomplicate
mm.
things.
I love
Just
that.
do these very basic things to start the
Mm.
journey now.
Because if you did that daily, it's and as you said, it's simplifying it. If you did that daily, I can definitely vouch for that personally, because those things, funny enough, the exact things are the things that I did when I was on recovery. So when I got to the point of I had ME, chronic fatigue, and fibromyalgia, and I was basically housebound because I was in a lot of pain. I couldn't move. There was literally no energy. It was just like
Yeah,
nothing. I was stuck. And so the first thing that I had to do was calm. It was much of my recovery work was to calm the nervous system down, because
yeah,
everything about my system was just, I'd been living like that, my whole life.
yeah,
And so what you shared there, I can absolutely vouch for the power, because I did the breath work, the lemon in the water, as you said, music, just anything to calm, but
yeah,
practicing. And I did it daily,
yeah,
daily. And I couldn't go out at the time, but then when I started to be able to go out, it was just doing quiet. And now nature is much bigger part of our lives, because we're feeling even more drawn. It's funny how that's happening. We want to kind of move nearer, being around more nature. So I can
yeah,
definitely vouch for those things. They really
yeah,
do add a massive quality to your whole health, everything in
yeah,
your body. It's
yeah,
incredible. Yeah,
absolutely.
yeah,
And then if you may consider to think of some things like artificial sweeteners. So anything considered light or zero or just skip it.
yeah.
Don't have those things. First of all, it's not what it's supposed to be. So it's one of the major reasons why people develop diabetes.
Mm,
The body thinks some sugar comes, insulin is released, but there is no sugar. It's just some whatever chemical toxic ingredient. And so after a while, the pancreas will be just worn out. So skip any artificial sweetness. Read careful on the packaging, what's written there. Skip it as much as possible. Look at what you have in your bathroom, like the deodorant.
mm-hmm.
Does it contain aluminium? If yes, kick it out
Yeah.
immediately. Look at your toothpaste. Does it contain fluoride or and artificial sweetener?
Oh, yeah.
If
Oh,
yes,
yeah.
kick it out. You know
Mm,
what I have in my bathroom? coconut oil and baking soda.
Yes, I keep meaning to try this actually because I keep seeing
Yeah,
articles. Yeah.
I'm using the coconut
Oh,
oil for brushing teeth. Once in a week, I add the baking soda. It
mm,
will just clean properly.
yeah.
It's antibacterial, antifungal, so it's really, really perfect. It has a whitening effect.
Mm,
If you want some fresh taste, have a drop of peppermint oil. Just add to the
mm.
coconut oil. Remember, don't swallow or don't let it go into the sink.
Oh,
Just put
yeah,
on some
it's a good idea.
tissue and throw in the waste. Don't
Oh,
let
that's
it
a
go
good
there.
tip.
It will get stuck very quickly.
That's a really good tip.
Um,
Yeah.
and it's a perfect deodorant. Or
Mm,
if somebody has sweaty feet,
mm,
smelly feet, whatever, have coconut oil and rub baking soda on top. It's
no,
perfect. You won't smell. I'm not using anything
mm,
different. Nothing else you will find in my bathroom. So you're
mm,
skipping a lot of toxins,
mm,
and that will again help your body. So you're taking away pressure, and every little thing you can do good to your body will take away pressure.
mm. Yeah, because your body has to work so hard, doesn't it?
Right,
Just to overcome the daily products that often. And I only,
right.
I've got to admit, I only got this realization like earlier last year, where I suddenly got this kind of insight into start being conscious of your products, and I scrapped all of like the
Yeah,
bathroom stuff and just brought in completely natural. So and
yeah,
I found very quick within about a week just I stopped getting headaches. That was one of the major things. It was so obvious. It sounds so obvious right now. It's like, of
yeah,
course, the poor body was being bombarded,
yeah, yeah.
um, and changing the water. That was the two big things we did last year.
Mm-hmm.
And just using distilled water. And again, headaches. Just I hardly get a headache now. Very rarely. But I was getting headaches, just part of life. We all get very
Yeah.
used to
And
living like that. Mm,
I mean, don't forget, we are exposed to so many toxins, we have no idea that they exist.
yeah.
I mean, do we really know what's in the air? I don't want
Mhm.
to talk about chemtrails now, but it's proven that they exist. And
Yeah.
there are funny things in there, like aluminium, mercury, I don't know what else.
Yeah.
Then what is in the soil? What
Mm,
is the GMO that we may not even be aware that we are eating?
mm,
And what is in those things that we buy? We have no clue. So our body has the ability to deal with all of that. Don't get me wrong,
mm.
but only to a certain point. If you reach that one point, then you have the straw that breaks the camel's
Yeah.
back, and then it will just, yeah, it will break down.
Mm,
Your entire system will break down. So
mm.
that's definitely not fun. And if you I just have to plug in my
Mm.
computer, sorry,
Nice.
but it said it is low in battery. Just hold on. I love it when things don't work, but hey, that's
That's me
life.
every week on the show. I'm at some point plugging in my my charger every week, so don't worry. Okay.
It's really weird. Yeah, now that looks better.
Yeah,
Sorry for that.
it's okay.
Now I'm
No
back.
problem.
Yes,
Mm,
that should work fine now.
mm,
That's good. Um, yeah, it's all these things that our body can handle. And
mm.
when we do just little bits and pieces, and it doesn't have to be pricey. So, those
Yeah.
of you that say, well, but I'm low in funds, we're not talking about expensive things, just little small things that you can do to support your physical body. And if the physical body feels better, you will feel better on a mental, emotional
Yes.
basis. And then it bounces back and fuels back to the physical,
Mm,
taking away more pressure from the physical.
mm.
So
Yeah.
keep it simple. You can always add some supplements like vitamin C. We
Mm,
all know we need a lot of vitamin C. Magnesium is wonderful, especially when
mm,
we talk about like muscle tension, muscle
yeah.
pain. Um, this is all wonderful. But in first place, watch your thoughts.
Mm,
Try to limit negative self communication. You are wonderful
mm,
like you are. There is no need to change. Your soul is basically perfect.
mm,
You need to change maybe some circumstances in the 3D world, but just be brave and know that it will happen. Just go ahead, be brave,
mm,
go there. These times right now are the best example that the chaos is needed to bring the change.
yeah.
For me, the whole situation, and it was funny when they came up with this funny story. I was like, huh, that sounds like what we need to change the world.
Yeah.
It was just there.
Yeah. You
And I
recognize.
never felt more peaceful and more powerful than right in that moment.
Mm,
And I was looking at the benefits that we got from also the lockdown, where
yeah.
so many people noticed, oh, I don't have to do all these things every day and going there and doing this and doing that. They maybe started baking bread or planting vegetables, started cooking, maybe
Mm.
some of them first time ever, um, that they prepare something really themselves,
So, yeah, we saw
which is,
changes in our park. I remember, I think the lockdowns activated a lot of people into their
yeah,
awakening and to their connections. And I remember me and Michael were in our
exactly.
local park, and we were noticing there were just more people on bikes. They seemed to just be off their phones, which is lovely because I can't stand it when I go out and I see people in a park on their phone. They were on their phones, and we saw more picnics. We saw groups, family, and they were having picnics, and it just seemed more connected. So I feel that too. I feel like there were so many good things, and not to
Yeah,
downplay anyone that experienced absolute horrible whatever, and we acknowledge that, but in a general sense there was so many good things that came out of the lockdown because it made people get off that rat race of being on this wheel,
exactly.
working and
Yeah,
not breathing
yeah,
properly even. Yeah, I think a lot of power came from that. I really do.
yeah. It's
Yeah.
really the bigger picture of that all. It's, I mean, the situation for everyone or for a lot of people was really devastating,
Yeah.
and they were in fear and they didn't know what was going on, and they thought really it's
Mm,
like, how will that end? And now they pushed people in a situation where they still have fear of this germ,
mm,
let's
mhm.
call it like that.
Yeah.
And then we have this experimental vaccine,
Mhm.
and so they're in the midst, they're torn apart between fear of this unknown illness, what they think is an illness,
Mm,
and choosing the vaccine. And then everybody telling them, when you get the vaccine, you're free again
mm,
after months of lockdown. So that is such an evil game where
yeah.
they used low frequencies. Again, we're back at the frequency,
Yeah.
24/7 fear mongering messages. The KGB did an experiment in the 1960s, and there were volunteers, and they told them some fear mongering story, and it went on 24/7. After 2 weeks already,
Mm,
85%,
mm, yeah.
sorry,
Yeah.
85% of the participants were programmed to a level that they didn't believe it was a lie. Even they told them, hey, here is the proof. We did lie to you. We did that because we wanted to find out about. They could no longer acknowledge the truth. They were programmed fully into the wrong. into the fear.
Mm. Mm.
And now we are into that like 1.5 years or so.
Yeah.
And that's insane. I mean, how
Mm.
should an average person that has no idea of all these things that we do know, that has never thought about alternative medication, where the
Mm.
doctor was the to-go person for health issues,
Mm.
how could they deal with that information?
Yeah. I often think if this was 20 years ago, um, before all of what I went through myself, I would have been perhaps one of those people. And this is why I feel I can hold that compassion. Not all the time, I must admit, most of the time. I try. But I know 20 years ago, I would have watched the mainstream news. I would have absolutely plugged into that as the source of truth. I'd have gone to my doctor and I'd have done whatever my doctor told me. So I can understand that. And it is an awareness thing, right? And it's a frequency thing, vibration,
Yeah,
energy again. It's just where it is. But it is staying out of fear, isn't it? It's all about just staying out of fear. That's for
yeah,
everything right now, you
right.
know? Yeah.
So for me, it's always like, even when the flu season was, then people are like, I'm working with people that are sick. Of course, people
Yeah.
that were having the flu did see me.
Yeah.
And then they said, why are you never sick? I said, because I'm just not interested in that. You
Yeah.
can keep that. I'm not interested. And this is what I did with whatever that frequency is. Its
Yeah.
frequency, even the illness has a certain frequency.
Yeah.
Every bacteria, every fungus, everything has a frequency.
Mm.
And when you raise your frequency above the
Yes.
germ, then
It's
nothing can happen to you.
definitely.
You're
Yeah.
safe.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think everybody's had that experience somewhere, or they know someone at least where, you have that experience. Oh, my whole family had flu and I never got it, or
Yeah,
my
right.
friends had this bug and I never got it. We've all somewhere in our life. So
Yeah,
maybe, whoever needs to tap into that, reminding themselves that that's how it works. We won't just get things just because other people get things. And as you said,
right.
you work with people and you're like surrounded by these humans who are ill, and you're like, I'm not even interested. And your body's just like, oh, we don't vibrate
Mm.
at that level. So that's like evidence right there. I love that. It's so powerful.
Only people need to get it off the, um, oh, that happened by accident, or maybe it's a coincidence. No, no, somehow you were able in that moment to not open up for that frequency. You were raising above that frequency. So everybody else around you could have been sick, but
Mm.
it didn't affect you
Didn't
at
affect you.
all. And this is how it works every time, all the time.
Mm. It's so powerful. So, as
Yeah.
we're wrapping up, I suppose, what's a good kind of thing for people to know? I suppose if we're moving through now, and we're probably going to see quite a few things unfolding. I think the fear, as you know as well, the fear is going to be picked up. We're going to get more programming. We're not done yet. How best for people to, get into their power, into their strength, so that their body, their cells can receive maybe the best messages. What's a way for people to, like, for me straight away, it's like switch off mainstream media. That would be my number one.
Just wanted to
Would help.
mention the most powerful virus in the world, mainstream media. Please shut
Yeah,
it off.
get rid of that.
And that's truly way to go. 98% of all news right now is a blatant lie, including the weather. So
Yes.
just don't go there.
Yeah, true.
Doesn't make sense. Even skip those so-called conspiracy news.
Mm,
If you are not able to just observe, not owning the emotions, then just also don't go there.
true.
Only thing I can really recommend to you, breathe. Know that everything goes like it should go.
Mm,
We needed that. And also the scare scenario that is growing bigger every day right now
mm.
is needed to wake more people up.
Yes, that's important. That's
So
important to note, I think, to really
yeah,
acknowledge there is something greater that will
it's
come from that. Yeah, yeah.
right. I mean, it's, if you look at the UK, where they say, well, we have a fuel shortage and a shortage of drivers.
Mm,
I know firsthand from a truck driver that there is no shortage of gas, that there is no shortage of drivers. They
mm,
want people on the streets for a very, very, very good reason,
yeah.
so that they can bring in the solution. And so just observe, let it go. Everything goes in the right direction.
Mm,
Breathe, ask someone where you trust with information, like reach out to Mary, reach out to me,
mm,
or other powerful people that can help you, maybe bridging the gap also for the 3D, how
mm,
this all
mhm.
goes together. And other than that, just try
Mm.
to be happy for no reason.
No reason. Yeah. Yeah. Don't wait for a reason. Create a reason, or just tap it into your own self. Even I find music is kind of the easiest sometimes, right? You don't have to work hard. You can just
Right,
put a piece of music on, something that doesn't remind you of something rubbish, something that uplifts you. We all have those songs that we just put them on straight away. We're back into a
right,
great place. And definitely that
exactly,
is an easy way,
exactly.
you know?
Yeah,
It's amazing.
absolutely.
Mm, yeah, you
And
shared so
that's,
much.
there would be so much more,
I
but
know.
yeah,
You have to come on again. We'll have another conversation, because I know that's like, just it's hard, isn't it? You've got this lady here's got so much knowledge and wisdom. It's yeah, we couldn't possibly even begin to touch it. So, how best for people to connect with you or find out a little bit more about what you do? Because I know you've got a website. Yeah, share how best for people to reach you if they want to learn.
yeah. Um, I'm totally happy to share my website here. That's www. We make you happy. All one word. Now watch the ending because it's a German, like the .de ending. That's the only thing you should. We make you happy. .de.
EE.
There you land on my homepage. You'll find a lot of information, some blogs that I did write. You can look up my recordings that I did, what they do. You can book yourself a
Yeah,
discovery call so we can chat a little bit more. Then you will find me on Facebook. Let's see for how long that will
for
work.
now.
We don't know. It's just for now. It's
Yeah,
also We Make You Happy, so you will find me there, or Martina Waidhas. You will find me privately there.
yeah.
You will find me on Telegram. My username is at Witches in Town, so maybe that's also for
I like
some.
that. Yeah.
Um, well,
Great.
and yeah, just text me, send me a message, reach out on Messenger, Telegram, Signal preferably now.
Oh yeah.
Um,
Okay, brilliant. I'll have to get better at this, because I know when I've had guests on, I've not been putting links and things. That's not my strength. So I'll try and remember to I can put some links, because I know you've got quite a few. People can just, because you do such amazing work, and also, yeah, I just know that you're genuinely very gifted at what you do. So, if anybody wants to just, yeah, call you or have a session or something, I know you offer quite a few different your programs as well, don't you? I think on your
I have
right. Yeah,
really powerful recordings that cover all aspects.
yeah,
And I have one recording, if I may mention that quickly,
yeah, sure.
the antidote for harmful injections.
Oh, perfect.
Um, yeah,
Great, great.
I could not name it any different because it disappeared immediately. But
Wow.
it's literally for all kind of injections, because
Yes.
not even alternative, like plant-based things may sometimes be harmful. So it
Mm.
helps with all of that, and it also protects from the shedding effect.
Mm. Okay, very good to know. Brilliant. Okay, lovely.
So
Yeah, that's
that's
anyone.
on there. That's in my awakening package.
Yeah,
Um, and we can always find a way to have that as a single recording. It's in the package. Maybe you're interested in the package. It's really powerful. It's about
yeah.
the earth chakra and the sacred
Wow.
geometry, and energetic med beds where you can put yourself in until we have the physical ones available. And
I love how
so that is really, really.
Those
Sorry.
modalities are coming through now a lot, because I've been getting some myself, and I know other people have been starting to receive these very deep energetic ways, which are very much like med beds, but they are the energetics. I love that you mentioned that, because such a powerful way. So yes, so all on your website.
It is.
Perfect.
Yes.
Well, thank you so much. Thank you so much for coming on, and all the wisdom that you share. There's a lot in there for people to really just take on board. That doesn't cost anything. They can just start to bring these things in and start to think about their health and their bodies in different ways. So powerful.
Thank you for inviting me again, and thank you for the beautiful soul that you are, and sharing all your wisdom with everyone. And your channelings are amazing.
Oh,
So I really enjoyed having the channeling with you. Yes, and it really did lift me up. It was one of these moments where my frequency went down a little bit, and I took the chance and booked this session, and it was exactly the results
I'm so glad
that I knew would come from that. It was just a confirmation of what I already knew, but every healer needs a healer, and so sometimes you just need to hear those things.
Definitely, and from outside of you, right? Yeah. So that was a wonderful
Exactly.
session. So glad you felt that.
So thank you.
I love that.
And absolute recommendation here for your channelings.
Oh, thanks very much. Well, take good care of yourself, and we'll have another conversation at some point soon. Yes, and we're connected anyway. All right, take care.
Wonderful.
Lots of love to you. I'll talk to you soon.
Lots of love to you. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Okay. All right. I feel very calm now with that energy. I'm going to bring on Michael now. We're going to have a little chit chat. We'll just come on. Yeah, come on when you're ready, and we shall chit chat our way through. Let me just move this off. Okay. Yes, I feel very nice and calm now. Very chilled after that conversation. Welcome.
Hello again, guys.
Hello. Welcome back.
The weeks
go quick.
Go quick, yeah.
So episode 10 now.
What a wonderful woman.
Yes.
An absolutely wonderful woman.
Really knowledgeable.
You know, the real deal. Maybe I should use different words, but if I say that,
you really mean it. If you say that, you really mean that.
It's just hear me say too often.
Beautiful wisdom, and it was just. I feel it's just that. Speaking of vibration, thank you. You get a vibration when you're connecting with someone, and I just feel very chilled now. Every time I speak to Martina, I just feel like very nice and relaxed.
This is a woman I hope you have something to do with in the future. On when it gets big. When it gets big.
Oh yes, I got
the world needs her.
I've got my soul people that I connect with.
Needs her stuff.
Yeah, she does amazing work as well. So I'll have to put the links.
And she knows a thing or two as well.
Oh yes, definitely. So I guess we're going to continue the conversation around some of this. I know how we do.
You got your water, I got mine.
Chit chat and talk about we're going to you heard some of that. Did you tune into
all the things she was saying? We were doing the lemon water, the distilled water, the no fluoride. You got rid of basically you ransacked the bathroom and got rid of everything. There's no aluminium there at all of any sort. We use non-fluoride organic type toothpaste. We have even our shampoo is organic.
It makes such a difference, don't you feel?
And we use Epsom salts for the bath and various other things, but also the I like coconut oil anyway. So right, this is I don't know what the deal is here. Maybe I ought to build a bench for here, or take the one from the garden that I built. So
By the way, if you're tuning in for the first time, this is very unscripted, as you know, and we just talk as things come out. We don't really plan what we're going to say.
Well,
yeah,
I was fascinated by the topic. It wasn't a million miles away from what we were saying last week. You are your energy, and that includes your thought systems or your choice of thought systems, because we do have a choice beyond anything else, and you know that includes how we go out either in the garden or in the forest, just a minute away or so, 2 minutes away, to earth, and you know, breathe. We do some breathing, either qigong or tai chi, or the meditative breathing. And
do you want to share what happened with you when you were doing the meditation? But you found like a
for years, just to put the background, for years, you know, when I was in the seminary and the priesthood, the missionary priesthood, for you know, for a short amount of time, 2-3 years or so, there was meditation and meditation and prayer, obviously, and spiritual reading, and you know that was an introduction to all that for me when I was about just turned 17. But when I took up Tai Chi in my 20s until just a few years ago, I was with a certain Tai Chi master, fantastic person actually. It was like qigong breathing, and you know, there's a thing whilst you're in that state to enter the void, and various other things. But just yesterday, Marie's been trying to get me on to more simplistic type, you know, non-directed, just listening to your breath kind of stuff. And there have been interesting things that have begun happening from that. But what happened, was it yesterday?
Yeah. I think so, yeah.
Morning. Yeah, that's it. Early in the morning. So in the mornings I get up. Sometimes I get up at silly like 4 o'clock, 4:30, 5, sometimes 6, whatever. This was an early morning. And I sat there. I had a hot drink as well, lemon or whatever, hot, and I just sat there. That was it. And I began sort of letting go and focusing a little bit on the breathing without it being the be and end all, because I also wanted to sort of see around me. And I'm in touch in my own way with various like the Arcturians and so on. I've always been since a boy, and I didn't know it. I always thought it was a sixth sense and various other things. But anyway, that's another part of it. So something that Marie has been doing is a sort of channeling, like a healing codes. And it felt like I was whilst I was laying on the sofa, it felt like I was in some sort of med bed scenario, because I could feel a systematic going up and down on my body from my toes to my head. And I could feel things happening with my heart and areas which had hurt over the years. It's like just over 40 years of martial arts and hundreds and hundreds of fights and everything. And my body's been aching for years, and military and various other stuff. And, you know, I put myself through it. But what it seemed like, this thing as it was going up and down was touching on virtually everything I could, even stuff I'd forgotten about, pains I'd forgotten about. It was touching and tweaking and moving and like ironing them all out in some strange way. So I was left to my own devices yesterday morning, and as I was doing my sort of early morning quietness and sort of an open channel, antenna, whatever, guess what? I had this envisagement of of that actual thing happening. I could see it this time, and it was like a wire surround, which was enveloping me from the feet up towards, well, to my head. And it was a mixture of excitement, be it butterflies, be it warmth. There was a heat, which I recognized from Qi and Jing and Tai Chi Chuan and Qigong, and a light, and it was like a red and orange light, and it was, but it could have been a mixture of other things. Just give it a minute or two, right? It was like that, and it was an indication of what I could do for myself alongside our galactic cousins and so on. And now, in other ways, there are various faiths which can touch on certain things. It really doesn't matter so much the source. In fact, the source is an almost kaleidoscopic access from various denominations, if you like. It doesn't matter, because ultimately it's all the one source. It's the source of like pure white light that everyone else is attached into in more advanced ways, most likely than we are in the main. However, there are some of us, or quite a lot of us right now, and including the young babies that have been born, kids that have been born, that are understood as being star seeds. They're more in touch. You can see, as we said there recently, there's something in their eyes, there's something in their demeanor and their calmness and so on, their timing. There's something in their timing, their patience. There's a certain wondrous wherewithal that they have. If you look enough, if you get a sense, you really aim to get a sense of it, you'll find it. And anyway, I got my sort of insight with what is possible. Your lady has mentioned many ways, many things, many sort of estuaries towards that wondrous big sea. And I'm on board with that.
Yeah, you're on board with all of that, aren't you?
Yeah. So it doesn't really matter. You could have knowledge of various different galactic associations or connections. It doesn't matter which, because ultimately it's the same white and pure divine source. It doesn't matter whether it's Christian or whatever it is. Ultimately, it all goes. In fact, it transcends the human constructs and misunderstandings as well, may I add. But ultimately bypasses all of that, and we all end up sooner or later in the same big wonderful boat or source anyway. And so I got a bit of that. So I realized yesterday morning that I could, if I connect, I could have a source which heals, let me tell you, a lot of injuries. I was saying to Marie earlier that the old warriors, the old samurai, were, their bones and the injuries and so on, they weren't actually expected to live beyond 40 generally. So things like arthritis and other ailments from wear and tear, basically, were dealt with by Mother Nature, because they tended to come a cropper somehow or other, or just their hearts gave in, or whatever it was. So I'm an old codger compared to some of them then. So I wasn't meant to be here, but since I am, and apparently since I'm meant to be here, they're helping me out with some of this stuff, as well as you, by the way, with your healing codes with the Arcturians.
And I think
this
is what's coming in now more, because some of you might go, galactic, what? So just to clarify, since I've been channeling, what's been coming through for me, and I've noticed this in other people, other sort of healing type people, we're now, in response to what's happening on the planet, we are now receiving other ways. And this is what I love. We're other ways of healing, other ways of strengthening the body, literally the cells in our body, and clearing and releasing things from our system. So I've been doing a lot of what's come through what they call coded healing, and they're so beautiful for me to give and also to receive. And I receive the codes when I'm doing sessions as well. But we've been really playing around with it, haven't we? And you've had a lot of sessions I've been doing for you, and the difference that you can feel in your body. And so I just want to just share that, because what we're now, I think, being called to do is open our minds into really new ways, new healing modalities, things that maybe your minds wouldn't have allowed you to consider before. But this is what's happening. And this is also, take it as evidence that we are moving into newer and higher frequencies, even though on this planet there's a whole load of bullshit going on right now. But alongside that, there is so much more high frequency information, knowledge, wisdom, modalities coming through, and it's very real. So I just want you to know that, in case you think there's nothing changing. Everything's changing right now, isn't it?
Believe me, though, you will, if you've been a stunt man or a rugby player or a professional fighter or whatever, martial artist and soldier and all of that, and you've had a lot of wear and tear in your body over the years, one way or the other, you know, you may be holding in that body unbelievable pain. Now mine, through the healing codes that Marie has just alluded to, plus, well, you know, the natural process for me, my connection with various sources as well, or these same sources, I'm proud to say. What is happening is I'm being released from a lot of these, but it's you know, it's a half a century of pain, a little more.
They say it's a co-create. They're always saying that to you, aren't they? Through the channeling, I'm getting that it's a co-creation, that they can assist with the healing energies, but then you are also participating in your own healing. And this is so empowering, because it means that everybody, you included, tuning in, can participate in your healing, right? It's not like you're just there and it's done to you. It's like you get to create it as well. You know,
what I would say is, if you've been hardcore, if you've been, you know, if you lived on the edge in life, whether you were you know, you could have been a minder for you know, you could have lived a real tough life, actually, or been in military special forces and all that sort of stuff. Whatever it is that you've done, you've trained in over and over and over and over and over, beyond what most 99% of men have done. I can tell you that you will have retained more pain than you have any idea about. Normally, someone will just have a heart attack or a stroke or get cancer or whatever and be wiped out. There won't be any record. There won't be any understanding for the rest of this, in this tenure. The loop will be finished, and no one will know why you had that heart attack or that stroke or you know, brain aneurysm or whatever else possible, whatever it is. No one will know. No doctor will know. No, they'll know symptoms, but they won't be able to connect the dots with the shit that you put yourself through. Right? I don't sleep now because of the pain, but yet I still have energy when I need it. I can go on days and days and days without sleep.
Your sleep's getting better though, way better.
Finally, bit by bit, but I mean, I didn't, you know, I've lost sleep for the last few days and nights. But what I'm saying is that so much of that pain in these knuckles, for example, right? Pain in my feet, my knees, my shoulder, and you know, emotional stuff that suddenly comes up, maybe a sudden new perspective, and anyway, all sorts of stuff are coming up. All this stuff I've been done and whatever. You will maybe find that as well. Don't expect it to be Mary Poppins and everything is all sorted. Actually, it's a process. You will probably have to go through weeks and months, and probably months and months of all this stuff coming out, all the stuff you thought you'd brushed under the carpet and was to be no more. They know every single thing. They know every punch, crunch, blood spot, everything you've been involved in, every fear, every sleepless night, every whatever it is. You know, they know all of it. They know it from way back when you were a little kid, and all of it, stuff you've not even admitted to yourself or certainly to other people. You've not bothered. You've brushed it under the carpet and so on. All of that comes out, and of all the things I've done in life, and you know, this is probably the biggest, the most special, the most amazing, magical process. And I've got to thank Marie for so much of this, that they are saying, okay, we recognize that you understand now and you realize you do not need this pain or this stuff that's under the carpet stinking up the floor or whatever. You don't need it. We see that you don't need it. You need to be in that place, and we will assist you. And as Marie just said, it is an association. They will work with you. And that's how Marie works with people from various parts of the world now, in these new processes that these healing, coded healing processes and so on. They work with the Arcturians, with Marie adjudicating or being a conduit to all of that.
And the reason being is because we are ascending, and this is why I see the bigger vision, and I never not connect to that, no matter what's going on. And I can confirm this for you right now. You know, we are ascending, and because we're moving into a much more powerful way of being, this is why all this healing is necessary. So it's okay. So you might
more than you know.
Yeah, you might find that you're going through periods where, like, a lot of emotions coming up, feelings,
all of it.
We're having a lot of physical weird sensations in the body right now. A lot of people are experiencing very odd.
Trick is not to take it personally. It's trick is to understand the process that you're going through it now, and be in tune just enough. You don't need to be a genius. Just be in tune to know that this is an overwhelming thing. It's a little bit past the normal, shall we say, pay grade. You're really in the swing of it now. Probably because you've acknowledged it and requested it and accepted all of those processes on board. It's because am I right in saying that all of these need to be on board? You need to give permission or request it.
It's a choice. It's a choice of wanting to, you know, you're wanting to move forwards, release whatever you want to release in your body. It's almost like we've got to get to a point of being so sick and tired of our own bullshit, our own stuff, patterns, thoughts, feelings, emotions, physical sensations.
It has no place anymore.
Lack of energy, whatever the thing that you've been sort of like tolerating and just getting very used to. Messages are now, it's like you can receive more, you can expand, and you can improve your life, and you can move with the higher energies now. And this is such a great opportunity for people to really start releasing. So I'm doing a lot of that with people right now in my sessions. I'm noticing it's more deep release work. It's in my coded healing group, just kind of finished the last week. You know, we've been doing this kind of deep clearing.
I don't think people quite realize just how beneficial you've been in their lives, not just the ones who've stopped from themselves from ending their lives.
Oh,
but
they do. My
the other
clients are lovely. They really,
people who have even had various things put into their body, and you're you know, you're altering through the help of the Arcturians. You're altering their actual health.
Always
and
with their soul choice, though. Always.
Yeah.
So even if they're not conscious of certain things, it's like the energies tap into their soul choices, and with that, they can then deliver whatever that person needs. It's just such a powerful way.
And what was funny was they didn't even know what were they calling you or messaging you later? I don't know what you did, but it was amazing. Can I have more of it, please?
Yeah, it's really interesting. I had a client I'm working with for probably about 2 years, like long term, with her recovery. Like she had the illness that I had for years, and so it's like a long term with sessions, and we've been working in all different ways, doing different phases, and I brought in like a kind of accidentally, it was just like brought in some of the coded healing. It's only about 10 minutes at the end of our session. It felt like the right thing just to bring in.
You
for
wouldn't
her.
Have done it otherwise.
No, and it just came through, and I delivered that to about 10, maybe 12 minutes, and then she emailed me saying, what was the thing, like she didn't understand what was the thing we did at the end of the last session, because I felt really different afterwards. And it made me laugh, because it was like, oh, it's a real confirmation that this stuff, because as I'm
so happy,
I was so happy because
helped her.
When I bring something new in, I still want that evidence sometimes of, I know I trust it, but I still, the lawyer always a lawyer, right? I still need that. And so when she confirmed it, I thought, oh yes, of course this really does have the impact, because she didn't even know that she was receiving something really kind of high frequency, and yet her body absolutely felt it. So it's just a reminder to you that you're never stuck. You're never, if you desire to change or release something, or you've had enough of something in your life, you absolutely get to change, shift, transform, and create something new. And I would say that over and over and over to my last breath, because I've experienced it myself, and I do it on a regular basis with people. So you're not stuck. You're never stuck unless you want to be. And sometimes we do. Sometimes we just want to stay put. But there are always ways. So I guess today's message is energy, vibration. Your body is intelligent. There are many healing modalities, but it starts with your own vibration. And Martina gave us some really great ways of just, if you have no idea where to start, right? She just gave some really beautiful ways of just really, really starting. And
very integrated within your ordinary run-of-the-mill day that anyone can do. She made comments a few times, this doesn't cost anything. And it was simplistically explained and powerful. Very powerful. And well, anyway, you can tell there's a resonance with her, and and there's a love there as well. So, but I would say my biggest lesson in life to date, and I've done all sorts of things, but my biggest one, it stands up there above and beyond everything, is the letting go and the opening your eyes, but also your inner eyes to yourself, to where you really at, who you really are, your wheres, your whats, your whys, everything, and join the dots, put them all together, and formulate what it is you want, what you really want. Not I'd love to win the lottery. We know now statistically most people who win the lottery within 6 to 9 months have lost either all, or as near as damn it, all of their money. And they've lost their spouses and friends and so on. So it isn't that isn't the answer. Most people don't know how to deal with money. But what it is that really is important to you, that other things, including a bit of money, will flow and you'll be comfortable, fine. But what is it that will make the most sense? What is your purpose? Because right now, a lot of people are on the way out. We're talking about a couple of billion plus, and might go toward 2.5. We might even go to 3. And that's shocking. It sounds shocking and whatever. It's just, if I didn't say that, if I tried to tell you any different, I'd be lying, and I'm not going to. And so we're left with an existential quandary. What's it all about, Alfie? And this is the time, more than any other time on this earth, apparently, and we've had this confirmed. Nothing like this has ever happened. So talk about being introspective. Well, some are here for various reasons, even outside of themselves, or as well as. Some are here to complete themselves or heal themselves, restore. Restore is a great word, by the way. Maria and I love it. And just ask yourself, who am I? What is my why in this world? How can I help here? How can I help myself, first of all? And how can I help others out there? How can I be of service to my fellow souls? Because quite frankly, a lot of the 3D sort of mindsets and systems and values are not going to be worth anywhere near.
They're not going to cut it, and they're not cutting it. And this is why we're seeing through those maybe people, structures, ways of doing things. It's not enough anymore. We're feeling the fakeness of it all.
Was it your friend Marty or Martina?
Martina.
Martina said when she first realized the full-on seriousness of this so-called pandemic, where they create a problem, create a solution, and in the process grab more and more and more control, as well as culling the population, of course. But anyway, she was relieved in some ways, because she basically realized that that'll do it. That will get us into a whole other deeper, wiser trajectory in life.
Yeah,
and,
she kind of, I feel like she recognized it, right? It was like, oh, this is the thing. Oh, it's here now. Because we all sort of had it under the surface that we sort of knew there was something going to happen. We talked about it, haven't we? And here it is. So I feel today, and it changes, but I feel, I mean, it is an exciting time. I know we hear this phrase, exciting time to be alive, but when you really tune into what is happening, you can understand that a bit more, because I just want you to know, it's not, none of this is meaningless. There is a huge divine plan around all of this. We are here to really shift, and it's about time. So yes, moving through discomfort, but it's also an opportunity to heal. And I'm definitely here to help create the new. So are you, and probably so are you if you're tuning in.
It beats the sort of the quiet, desperate boredom of life as it was. I remember it was Michael Caine. In his autobiography, he had become successful, become a name and a brand, both in the UK and in America or Hollywood. And his question to himself was, is this it? Is this all there is? And he realized, he got it actually. He realized that it wasn't enough cutting it. What, he had his cars, Rolls Royce, he had his whatever. But it wasn't enough. And I think that either people already know that no, it wasn't enough. They hadn't done anything outside of a job in an office or a platform or a motorway or whatever.
And it's been set up that way.
That's what they came on this earth for, after possibly thousands of years. That was the plan. That's
why I'm excited. I am most days, because the way the system is set up right now for everyone to be in debt, in slavery, chasing their tails, being in jobs you don't even like, hating most of what your life is, and because you're so busy trying to keep a roof over your head, you have no time to really tap into what is true for you. What does your soul want? So what we're doing now is, by busting through all these systems, we are going to create a world. I tell you, I am absolutely here for it. I am so here for it.
You were born for it.
Yes. And
I was born for it.
So were you. And we are going to create this world where when you take off those pressures and the bullshit systems, and you start connecting inwards, there is nothing more powerful than connecting in with your soul. And once you do that, nothing out there can touch you. You start to connect into your divine truth, your purpose, your soul mission, and watch how your whole entire life and existence on this planet changes.
And shed all the bullshit, the pain, the tensions, the fears. A lot of it's fear-based, and it takes a certain amount of courage to do this, but it's 1,000 times more than any degree you'll do, or any black belt you'll learn, or whatever, or beret and staple belt that you'll learn as well. It'll wipe the floor with all of it. I've known, as I said before, people worth hundreds of billions of pounds, and I've worked with him very closely, and other quite wealthy people, and supposedly successful. And I can tell you that they weren't, deep down, they were not successful. They weren't even happy, not even a little bit of it. And they had the saddest, most miserable, pitiful lives that you could ever have. And some celebrities as well as these type people. And so that was the best that they had, supposedly. And I'm telling you, what we are entering into now, this whole other Rubicon, or how would you say?
I call it an expansion.
An expansion, yeah. This is the train to be on. It's the other one was a pile of shit.
Yeah.
You know, the whole paradigm, the whole stack of paradigms that supposedly constituted a successful life. Successful life where now more than 1 in 2 people who get married get divorced. And,
we haven't lost
it's crazy.
Anything.
Suicides are up, depression is up. Come on, we were getting it wrong. The stats, the simple A is for Apple stats are no doubt about that. What Maria and I are talking about, particularly Maria more succinctly, is this new ascension, this new reality, this new consciousness that we're on the precipice with. Some are a bit ahead of the game. Some are called conspiracy theorists or whatever. No, soon the trajectory of us as a humanity is going to change. It's going to be unrecognizable, sadly, but in other ways, it's going to be what is needed to clear the decks and
raise our consciousness, better things,
much better things. And again, we talked about this: be ready for them, belong to that, and be ready for them.
Yes.
So unless you do those two things, whatever you're doing today in this traffic, 2 hours of traffic, whatever you do tomorrow in the 2 hours of traffic, which is only just a little game that has been played and everyone's falling for it again. Dear God, is really, I don't know how many days in reserve you've got to convince yourself that the 3D old paradigms are the ones to stick with. You're playing with. You're brave. You're brave in some ways. You're boring as hell, but I'm only kidding. But you're brave. Good luck with it, and or you've got that other choice to enter into something else.
I don't think anyone tuning into this is of that type of person. You wouldn't be here if you were tuning. If you're still here,
I would say I'd refer to those who are tuning in, who are very much aware of a lot of people surrounding them that are like that.
Yeah, we all know.
They have to deal with it.
Yes. So we're here to create. We're here to create new things, move into high frequencies, shift the vibration, and it's all about energy. That's the message today. It's all about
you
energy.
are your energy.
We are. Yeah, absolutely. So thank you.
Better.
Yes, thank you for tuning in live. Just drop us a comment if you're still here, and also thank you for watching the replay as well, and keep your comments coming in because I'll always check in later. So yes, thank you for joining us, and join us next week for their final episode, episode 11, and we're going to have a little break after that, and then we shall rejig and see what's what after that one, right? So join us next Wednesday, same time, 7 p.m. UK time, here on this page. And that's it. Any final thought?
Well, look, just reach in a little bit at this time. Reach in a little bit. Have just a bit of quiet time. Figure it out. What works for you. But there are people who are meant to see a little farther than they can see at the moment, or have been able to see in the past. They are intended. They're here. It's as if they've known since they were kids. They're here to get through this and be an essential part of what's ahead.
Mm-hmm.
If you had those inclinations or insights or dreams or premonitions or just feelings that you are to be here for something special, then really start to look into it, please. It is within you.
Mm-hmm.
It will reveal itself if you go inside within you, rather, and you ask and find a way to do that. There are no strict ways of doing it. If you want something enough, you will do it. You will find a way, and you will find a way. So that's what's open for you now. That's what's ahead of you. It's what's on the plate for you. Don't waste it. Please don't waste it. I've said it now. That's it. Yeah. Good luck.
Good
and
luck.
enjoy the process. It's pretty exciting, actually.
Enjoy the
It's
ride.
more exciting than anything you think you can do on this earth. And I've done quite a few of them.
More to come.
Take care, guys.
All right. We'll see you next week. Bye for now.